All praises to the Most High God, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, forever and ever. So let it be true. Love, honor, and respect to the Heavenly Father Yahweh, to His Holy Son Yahweh Shai, who died for the 12 tribes of Israel. And double honors to the apostles of GMS, to the 4 major prophets, to the 12 minor prophets, and to the hopeful elect, the 144,000 brothers, the Akim, the saints who are preaching the word of God on the 4 corners of this earth, risking their lives day in and day out. And peace and blessings, shalom, to all you brothers, sisters, and children who are watching these videos. We're on another lesson, and today is Monday, February 12th, 2024. And we're going to get into the news. The Israeli-Hamas war, day 129. It's 129 days into this Middle East war, all right? And it's, it's World War. We're in World War III. Okay, a lot of things are happening. And on this past Sunday, President Biden told Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu that a military operation in Rafah should not proceed without a credible and executionable plan for ensuring the safety and support for more than 1.5 million women and children sheltering there. Now, this town is close to the Egyptian border, and Israel saying that's the last of Hamas is hiding in that town. But like 90% of the people there, well, I would say 70% is women and children, and you have elderly men that are there, but you have some of these militants, mercenaries that are there. So they just want to purge the rest of Gaza, okay? So even Biden, Europe, China, they know this is going to cause a lot of collateral damage, all right? There's over 30,000 people dead now. Every day there's more and more and more. There's no stopping these Amalekites, these Khazars, who rule over the Holy Land, all right? And it's really who's behind it. It's the Rothschilds, the Caesars, that go back to their Herodian dynasty. It goes all the way back. All right, goes back to King Saul and the prophet Samuel, when God told Samuel to give the message, the order to King Saul to exterminate the whole house of Amalek, the Amalekites, all right? That's the grandson of Esau, all right? Those are the rulers of Israel, America, and Europe, Hollywood, or the Khazars, all right? They go back to Eastern Europe, to Caucasus Mountains. Do your research, all right? Those so-called Jews that are in Israel and America and New York, Hollywood, they're all over the place, all right? They're the seed of Satan, the children of the devil. That's Revelations 2:9, Revelations 3:9, all right? God warns us in the book of Revelations who they are, the synagogue of Satan, all right? They're Satanists. They're into the black magic, all right? But like I said, they want the whole Middle East for themselves. See, Esau and his grandson, which Esau is the Greco-Roman Empire, and the grandson is those Amalekites. They want the whole world, and they're jealous of Jacob. But we're no longer there in the land. We're here in the ghettos of America, all right? The most of us, all right? They know who we are, but they have a plan. And their plan is to bring in a new world order, exterminate and purge the whole Middle East, take out Iran, and take out Russia, so they could have total control of the world, all right? But even the United States, they're behind it. But President Biden, he knows it's gonna be an all-out war, and he's even come out and said that it's over the top what Israel's doing. They're just bombing Gaza, the kingdom come. All right. They have no regard for children. They have no regard for women, elderly women and men. These people are like I said, they're bloodthirsty animals. The whole world hates Israel. The whole world hates America. That's just facts. All right. But the United States and Europe and Israel were behind Iraq, bombing Iraq to kingdom come, killing millions, displacing millions. Same thing with Syria, killed millions. Same thing with Afghanistan, killed millions, displaced millions all over the world. Millions and millions went into Europe. So you have now Europe is filled with Muslims. All right. They pushed the people out of their homes, and they're all over the world. But Europe has a problem now because of the United States and Israel. All right, the Rothschilds are running the show. They run the Roman Catholic Church. They run the Protestants. All right, that's the church on the left-hand side. That's the church of Satan. All right, the Roman pagan church. All right, the Roman Catholic Church is behind killing all the apostles. All right, that's not the church of the Holy Book. The prophets are here, and we're on the bottom right now. So it's all out war. So the president says a military operation in Rafah should not proceed. It says a plan for ensuring the safety and the support of more than 1.5 million people, mostly women and children, sheltering there without a credible plan to protect civilians. Like I said, they don't care about anybody. They don't care if there's a bunch of babies. They're just sending them planes and just dropping bombs. And they're blowing up schools. They're blowing up apartment buildings. They're blowing up everything. All right? Here in the United States, if that was happening, there would be an outrage. But like I said, Americans don't care about no one but themselves. All right? But it's going to fall upon the head of America. It's going to come to your shores. All right? Your world is going to go upside down. Like I said, all the nations are going to come against you. It says here, the Israeli military operations in Rafah cannot proceed. U.S. ambassador to the UN says that they should not attack. They should not destroy that part of Gaza. All right? China, Africa, they're going to the World Court, and they're calling out Israel, calling it a genocide what they're doing. All right? Like I said, you Americans, you just watch the Super Bowl, you're out of your mind. You people don't care, but you will care because it's in the Holy Book. The Middle East, the Holy Land will be a thorn to your ribs. It'll be a thorn to your jugular. All right? All hell's breaking loose. And it's going to affect you because it's going to cause hyperinflation here in America with gas and oil, with the trade. That's an emergency, all right. This whole world is in a crisis. So Israel conducts a military, they went for it. After all these nations said not to do it, like I said, read Revelations 12 and 12. They have, Satan and his children have a short time to bring in the New World Order, okay? So, after all, they've been talking about it for a week, that they're going to attack the city of Rafah, and they attacked yesterday, later in the evening. Israeli conducts military strikes in Rafah in Gaza as humanitarian concerns mount. Invasion of Rafah could threaten key Israel-Egypt peace treaty. Egypt threatens to suspend Camp David accords if Israel pushes into Gaza. This is before they did the attack yesterday. Egypt has been threatening Israel. Like I said, all the Arab countries are going to come together against the West. Israel pushes, this is Egypt. Egypt threatens to suspend the Camp David Accords if Israel pushes into Gaza border town. Egypt to attack Israeli army. Cairo deploys tanks to the border. All right. And Egypt now got a huge army. They invested billions of dollars into tanks, helicopters, planes. All right. They're getting their men ready to go in to Israel because they see what's happening. Genocide, extermination. All right. They know they're getting together. They know if they're going to do this to the Palestinians, they're gonna eventually attack Egypt, just like they're attacking right now Lebanon, Syria, Iraq, Yemen. I mean, this devil is going all out. He's on a rampage. All right. So Egypt now is getting ready to go to war with those Zionists, them Khazars that live in the Holy Land. Like I said, the whole Holy Land needs to be purged. So the Most High Yahweh, he's setting up the nations. It's beautiful, beautiful. Israel starts operation in Rafah along Egypt. This is last night on the border, the Egypt border. Israeli strikes, according to this morning, it must be much higher right now. From the strikes last night, early this morning, they're saying 67 are dead in the city of Rafah. Middle East crisis. The offensive will bring severe consequences, warns Iran. Because Iran, they've been getting ready. They know the war is on with the United States. The United States has been wanting to destroy Iran since the 1970s. All right, do your research. There's been a lot of tension between the United States and Iran. We've tried to put puppets up over there. But the Iranian people are too strong. They're not gonna lay down to Satan. That's why they call America the Great Satan. Because they're Satanists. This country is filled with witchcraft and sorcery. All right? Washington, D.C., the Pentagon, the goat of Mendez. They worship the goat Satan, Baphomet. All right, that's why they sacrifice little children over there in Bohemian Grove. They sacrifice right here in Colorado, in Aspen, in Breckenridge. Colorado is one of the most evil places on the planet. All right, with all these underground bases of the Denver World Airport for the New World Order. You have NORAD, Fort Carson. You have other underground bases here in Colorado, because that's where they're gonna push the New World Order, is right here in Colorado. All right, because they want the whole planet. All right, so it's all out war. But like I said, you turn on the news, people are watching their soap operas. They're still talking about the Super Bowl. They're talking about that whore, whatever her name is, that singer that's with one of the football players, Taylor Swift. She's a pig with lipstick. All right, all your entertainers are pigs, swine. All right, they're the lowest forms of human life. They're maggots. Maggots are more important than them. All right, they're the lowest of the pits of hell. These people, they get me sick. These people. But we're gonna get into the book of Genesis, and we're going to probably do a whole week on it, because Joseph was a very important man in the Holy Bible. All right, you had men like Noah, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and you had Joseph. All right. So this series, these videos are going to come out. It's going to be it's Joseph. Never question God's plan. Okay? God has a plan. Just like he did for Noah, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and Joseph. He has a plan for you. And who am I talking to? I'm talking to you brothers and sisters. He has a plan for you. I don't know what you were doing before you got into this truth, but now you know the truth. Okay? And you might be going through hell right now. Because when you get into this truth, you get attacked. All right? You're not going to be doing cartwheels and sitting on a blueberry farm and enjoying life. All right? God's people are being attacked. All right? From the beginning to now. We're going to be filled with joy and peace in the kingdom. That's coming. All right? But right now, you're going to face persecution. So this story, God is putting the Spirit on me to bring out the story, because there's beautiful stories in the Holy Book, and it's for your learning. All right. So never question God's plan. You never know what divine purpose He has in store for you. All right. The Bible is His story. All right. He created Noah, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and Joseph. Okay? His plan is greater than our comprehension and understanding. And you better believe that. We're in the second quarter of World War III, and a lot of you brothers are struggling. You're facing the pressures of life. You're being attacked by family members. You're being attacked by friends, people at work. And you're saying, what's going on over here? But God has a plan. All right? He's getting you prepared, just like He prepared Joseph. Like He told Noah to build the ark. Noah in the beginning didn't know that God was going to flood the whole earth. Noah was a righteous man, and he listened to God, and he took orders from God. And God told him to start building an ark and go preach and let the people know that I'm going to destroy the earth. God had a great plan. The earth turned wicked and needed to be purged. It needed a rebirth. And He did it with rain. He flooded the earth. And now this time, it's going to be purged with fire. All right? But He has a plan. All right? A purpose. A divine purpose. And many of you brothers and sisters don't have no understanding, but you will get this understanding. That's why you have to have patience. And patience means long suffering. Like I believe we're going to be here 17 years. All right? God is destroying America economically. All right? It's a divided country. This country was built on blood. So there's going to be a civil war. There's going to be a race war. That's coming. And like I said, we're in World War III. There'll be a draft, and they're going to draft men and women in this war. All right? So the point of the story, like I said, it's going to be an all week. I don't know how many. This is part 1. So what's beautiful about the story is it's about emotions. It's about love. It's about hate. The story of Joseph, all right? It's love, hate, envy, betrayal. The story is going to get deep, where his brothers were jealous of him because Jacob had a lot of love for Joseph. All right? And this is for all you brothers and sisters. Because there's people who care for you and there's people who hate you. All right? Even your own family members. All right? So Joseph was left for dead. His brothers turned on him. They betrayed him. He was sold. He went into slavery. He felt alone, scared, afraid. He went into depression. All right? You think you have it bad? The men of the Bible had it worse. All right? Uncertainty. He had doubt. He had traumatic stress. He had anxiety. All right? He had a heavy toll, stress. It's a heavy toll that on the body, on the mind, on your mood, overall mental health, his emotional health. He didn't know where he was going. One day he was with his father Jacob and his brothers, and the next day his brothers turned on him. We're going to get into the story. Then he was picked up and taken to Egypt, where he was a slave. His life of uncertainty. One day he's enjoying life with his father, eating bread, olive oil, drinking the best wine. He was with his people. Like when I'm with my people, when I'm with my daughters, my sons, we speak our language. All right? We eat certain foods, certain smells of the house. We have understanding because our blood, the seed of Jacob, all right? We're different than all the nations, all right? But one day he's with his people, and the next day he's with heathens. He's with people he didn't understand, couldn't communicate. So his life was upside down. All right, when we get deeper into the story, Joseph was a boy of dreams. God would give him these beautiful dreams, and God would break those dreams down to Joseph. All right. Joseph's dreams first get him into trouble, but his ability to understand them leads him to be chosen by the Almighty God, Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, the ancient Hebrew name of God. Leads him to be chosen by God to save the world. From great famine and to the Pharaoh, to know the power of the Almighty God and his holy name, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai. See, God had a plan. He didn't understand the plan. You don't understand the plan. Well, you brothers and sisters, you're on the right-hand side of God. Your life right now might be in darkness. A cloud of uncertainty is above your head. You don't know if you're going to be living here or there or there, but God has a plan. And he has a plan for the wicked, which he's going to bring down the economic collapse. They're going to lose their jobs. They're going to go into recession. They're going to go into a depression. They're going to run to their banks. They're going to find out their 401 and their pensions are gone. They're going to their cars are going to be repoed. Their houses are going to be repossessed. They're going to send the SWAT team to pull them out. If they're in heavy debt to the Federal Reserve, to the U.S. government, they're going to pick them up and they're going to throw them in concentration camps. So he has a plan for the people on the right, and he has a plan for the people on the left. God is in control. So God had this plan. Because see, the plan was just like during the times of Noah, where the people were marrying, drinking, just like they did on Super Bowl Sunday. Everybody was on drugs. They were high. They were drinking. There was orgies. So God said, well, I have a plan. I have to flood this earth. Just like during the times of Joseph. He's seen the future, and the future was going to be famine. So he had the brothers turn against Joseph. He had no understanding, but God had this master plan. All right, we could learn a lesson about the mysteries of how the world works, how God works. All right, how the world works. Just like we're in that fourth turning right now. How do the illuminated ones, the Illuminati on the left-hand side, know about the fourth turning? From the Holy Book. Every 100 years, every 1,000 years, God does a rebirth on this earth. He gets rid of the wicked, and the rebirth, and the righteous flourish. All right, the wicked have to be put back into the ground and let the maggots eat their flesh. All right, that's the future of the wicked. All right, is death and destruction. So we could learn a lesson about the mysteries of how God works, how the world works, and it's called perfect balance. There's times of plenty, and there's times of famine. And we're in the time of famine. We're in the time of an economic collapse. We're in the time of civil war. We're in the time of race wars. All right? We're in the time of losing jobs, mass layoffs. And everyone on this planet will face what's coming on the left and on the right. Now, the prophets are getting you ready for the decade of a crisis, all right? The decade of a famine. All right, let's get into the scriptures. We're going to read the holy book of Genesis chapter 33. I'm sorry, the page moves. It's page 27 here. Yeah, it's page 37, not 27. So let's go to the book of Genesis, chapter 37. Joseph and his brothers. And Jacob continued to live in the land of Canaan when his father had lived. And this is the story of Jacob's family. And Joseph, a young man of 17 years old, took care of the sheep and the goats with his brothers, the sons of Bilhah and Zilpah, his father's concubines. He brought bad reports to his father about what his brothers were doing. And Jacob loved Joseph more than all his other sons. Jacob loved Joseph more than all his sons, because he had been born of him when he was old. He was older in age, and he was the youngest boy running around, and he had a lot of love for Joseph. And he made a long robe with full sleeves for him. And when his brothers saw that their father loved Joseph more than he loved them, they hated their brother so much that they would not speak to him in a friendly manner. So jealousy, these are emotions. Jealousy and envy. And this happens to all of us. This is part of life. That's why, you brothers and sisters, if you're deep into the Holy Book, God will teach you to have self-control of your emotions. Don't overreact. Sit back, be quiet, and listen, and absorb everybody around you. And look behind. When I go anywhere, I just don't look what's in front, the first 3, 5, 7 feet in front of me. I look beyond that. I look 50 yards, 100 yards, a mile away. I look at everything. I look at the trees. I look to see what's in the trees, what's behind the trees. And Joseph, he loved Joseph more than he loved them, and they hated his brother. See, because they all wanted that love from the father, and he loved them all. But like I said, he was already getting up in age, and he had a lot of love for the youngest boy. And one time Joseph had a dream, and when he told his brothers about it, they hated him even more. He said, "Listen to the dream I had. We were all in a field, tying up sheaves of wheat. When my sheaf got up and stood up straight, yours formed a circle around mine and bowed down to it." And he wasn't lying about this dream. God, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, gave him this dream. And he's breaking it down for his brothers. But they're older and they're looking at him, so what is this supposed to mean? Do you think you are going to be a king and rule over us? His brothers asked. So they hated him even more because of his dreams and because of what he said about them. Then Joseph had another dream and told his brothers, "I had another dream in which I saw the sun, the moon, and the 11 stars bowing down to me." All right, in the Holy Book, God talks about the mysteries of the Holy Book, okay? So the second dream, now they're all looking at him, the brothers, when he says this. And Joseph had another dream, and he told his brothers, "I had another dream in which I saw the sun," and the sun represents Jacob. Okay? The moon, and the moon represents his mother, Leah. And 11 stars bowing down to me. And the 11 stars are his brothers, Jacob's son, the tribes. And he also told the dream to his father, and his father scolded him What kind of dream is that? Do you think that your mother, your brothers, and I are going to come and bow down to you? Joseph's brothers were jealous of him, but his father kept thinking about the whole matter. Did you hear that? Jacob was thinking. Remember I told you, you gotta look. You gotta think. You gotta use your brain. That's why God gave you a brain. Don't ration out. Don't overreact. Have control of your emotions and think things out. So Jacob was a man of wisdom. Okay? And that's why he represents the son. Because he was a man of knowledge and wisdom. And he was thinking about this dream that his son Joseph had. And he's looking past the dream, like who gave him this dream? It has to come from God. Okay? What else? Let me see what else. And what he means when he said, I had another dream, which I saw the sun, which is Jacob, the moon is Leah, and 11 stars bowing down to me. Because see, they didn't know at that time was a time of plenty. All right? They had sheep, they had goats, deer, buffaloes, the animals of the land. It was a time of plenty, of olive oil, of wine, times of plenty. But when he said that, they were bowing down to him, because that was going to be in the future, in the days of famine, when the whole world was in a severe famine, just like what's going to happen right now in America. And God is preparing you. He has his servants, his prophets, preaching the word of God. But only a few people are going to get it. All right? The rest of these people in this world are going to starve to death. In the Bible, it talks about cannibalism. That's coming to America and on the four corners of this earth. And we're going to get into those stories. History repeats itself. And we're in the fourth turning. We're in the last turning on this planet. This means this whole earth needs to be rebirthed to a new, greater, which the greater is the kingdom. Okay? So, but Joseph he didn't really understand. He had the dream, but he didn't know what he was about to go through. The sufferings, the betrayal, the anxiety, the depression, living with foreigners, living in a language he did not understand. So Jacob is thinking this out. And he also told the dream to his father, and his father scolded him. What kind of dream is that? Do you think that your mother, your brothers, and I are going to come and bow down to you? Joseph's brothers were jealous of him and his father. No, jealous of him, but his father kept thinking about the whole matter. Joseph is sold and taken into Egypt. Now Joseph's world is about to go upside down. And one day, when Joseph's brothers had some this word's been crossed out on here, let me see. So the brothers were taking care of their father's flock. And Jacob said to Joseph, I want you to go to Shechem, where your brothers are taking care of the flock. And Joseph answered, I am ready. And his father told him, God, his father told him, "Go and see if your brothers are safe and if the flock is all right. Then come back and tell me." So his father sent him on his way from Hebron Valley. And Joseph arrived at Shechem and was wandering around in the country when a man saw him and asked him, "What are you looking for?" "I am looking for my brothers who are taking care of their flock." And he answered, "Can you tell me where they are?" And the man said, "They have already left, and I heard them say that they were going to Dothan." So Joseph went after his brothers and found them at Dothan. And they saw him in the distance. And before he reached them, they plotted against him and decided to kill him. Now evil is on the heads of his brothers. They said to one another, "Here he comes, that dreamer. Come on. Now, let's kill him and throw his body into one of the dry wells. We can say that a wild animal killed him." That's how much the envy and jealousy over Joseph. Then we will see what becomes of his dreams. And Reuben heard them and tried to save Joseph. "Let's not kill him," he said. And Reuben, he's the oldest brother out of the 12. "Let's not kill him," he said. "Just throw him into the well in the wilderness. But don't hurt him," he said. This planning to save him from them and send him back to his father. And when Joseph came up to his brothers, they ripped off his long robe with full sleeves. Then they took him and threw him into the well, which was dry. And while they were eating, they suddenly saw a group of Ishmaelites, which is Ishmaelites are Arabs, all right? Abraham's first son, which are there today in the Middle East. Those are Arabs, those Palestinians, Saudi Arabia, all right? Those Egyptians, those are actually, the real Egyptians, they're not in Egypt no more. They were pushed into South Africa. All right, the real Egyptians. Those are Arabs that rule Egypt today. See, everybody's been pushed around. We'll get into lessons on that. But these Ishmaelites traveling from Gilead to Egypt, and then their camels were loaded with spices and raisins. And Judah said to his brothers, "What will we gain by killing our brother?" And when they were saying that those Arabs had spices and incense, and Judah said to his brothers, "What will we gain by killing our brother and covering up the murder? Let's sell him to these Ishmaelites, Arabs, then we won't have to hurt him. And after all, he is our brother, our own flesh and blood." His brothers agreed. And when some Midianite traders came by, the brothers pulled Joseph out of the well and sold him for 20 pieces of silver to the Ishmaelites, who took him to Egypt. There goes silver. Silver is all over the Bible, just like gold. That's real money. That's God's money, not this paper money, this fiat money. All right? Like I said, the Rothschilds, the Federal Reserve bamboozled you. Gold and silver is real money. And they sold Joseph for 20 pieces of silver. And when Reuben came back to the well and found that Joseph was not there, he tore his clothes in sorrow. He returned to his brothers and said, "The boy is not there. What am I going to do?" Then they killed a goat and dipped Joseph's robe in its blood. They took the robe to their father and said, "We found this. Does it belong to your son?" I'm on a video. I'll be right there. Excuse me, brothers and sisters. And when Reuben came back to the well and he found Joseph was not there, he tore his clothes in sorrow, and he returned to his brothers and said, "The boy is not there. What am I going to do?" Then they killed a goat, dipped Joseph's robe in the blood. They took the robe to their father and said, "We found this. Does this belong to your son, Joseph?" And he recognized it and said, "Yes, it is his. Some wild animals had killed him." So they lied. All right, they lied. See, we all have fallen off. This is a great story. This is perfect balance. That's where it goes into in Ecclesiastes, where God says we have love and hate, peace, war. There's a time to be born, there's a time to die, there's a time to plant, there's a time to cut down, there's a time to tell the truth and lie. We all have fallen off. Now, they're lying to their father. That's how much jealousy and envy they had for Joseph. Now they're going to put their father through hell right now with this lie. His blood pressure is going to go up. He's going to have a panic attack, thinking that his son was ravaged by a wild animal, ripped to pieces, shredded, because of this lie. And Joseph tore his clothes in sorrow and put on sackcloth, and he mourned for his son for a long time. All right? He tore his clothes. That's called lamentations, mourning, and woe, where you roll in the dirt, shave the hair off your head, and you're in total misery and sorrow, over a loss of your son. It's like your stomach. You're in agony, pain, suffering, anxiety. You start losing your mind. You're heading for a nervous breakdown. This is all part of the body, our emotions. And he put on sackcloth and he mourned for his son a long time. And all his sons and daughters came to comfort him, but he refused to be comforted and said, "I will go down to the world of the dead, still mourning for my son." That's how much he loved Joseph. So he continued to mourn for his son Joseph. And we're going to stop right there, brothers and sisters, and we're going to continue. Hope all you brothers and sisters were edified with this lesson, because we're in the time of famine. We're at the end of the age, and God has a plan for you. So always remember, never question Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai's plan. You never know what divine purpose he has in store for you. His plan is greater than ours. His plan is beyond your comprehension and understanding. All praises to the Almighty God, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, Most High willing. I'll be here tomorrow with another lesson. Keep fighting the good fight and never give up.